Who are the people you can't make jokes about?
Muslims.
Muslims?
You know, it's a religion of peace. There's a PC over there, there's a PC over there.
You've probably heard jokes like this about Muslims, but you probably haven't heard jokes like this from Muslims.
One of my classmates came up to me one morning and she was like, dude, I got like really stoned last night. I was like, oh my God. What did you do to piss your dad off? That joke kills in Saudi Arabia, guys.
My name is Ayman Ismail. To grow up Muslim means to grow up being feared. So I'm traveling the country to find out for myself if there's really any reason to be afraid of American Muslims. What happens when you mock Islam? This, right? After the Charlie Hebdo massacre in France in 2015, an activist hosted her own Draw Muhammad contest to protest Sharia law. 2 violent extremists with guns showed up. That was only 2 years ago in Texas. We've seen attack after attack around the world based on the extremist belief that people who criticize Islam are blasphemers and they should be punished with death. Many anti-Muslim activists say they receive death threats and fear for their lives. This fear has become so pervasive that it's now a pop culture punchline.
You'll be drawing today.
All right.
The factions that hold these beliefs are very real. The consequences can be horrific. But comedy routines like these have created a broader narrative about all Muslims.
I kill you!
That Islam is antithetical to Western life, partly because it smothers free speech with violence.
They say that satirists, artists, and comedians are some of the most vulnerable. So tonight I'm at this place where a bunch of Muslim comedians are going to be challenging that narrative.
So we definitely have anger issues, but the worst part of our religion, how easy it is to convert to. We have to take a year off or something. Like Mike Tyson became Muslim for 2 minutes. Do you guys remember this? He became Malik Tyson after he bit another human's ear off of their head. And we're like, sure, come on in.
This is the Muslim Funny Fest, a comedy festival co-founded by Dean Ubaidullah, a Muslim talk radio host, about 3 years ago. He's frequently on TV defending the rights of critics to say whatever the hell they want.
Everyone should have the right to draw the Prophet Muhammad. This is America. That's the freedom we have. And the freedom is to counter their words with our words, not violence, ever.
Dean co-founded the festival with his longtime collaborator, Maysoon Zayed. Tonight is their R-rated show, billed as their Haram night. Haram is what Muslims call something forbidden by God.
I have a theory. I think Donald Trump is Muslim. Where was he most comfortable? On his knees in Saudi. I'm just saying.
Muslims we found could care less about cursing or people drawing the Prophet Muhammad or anything. I mean, in America, they're living their lives.
And anytime I did shows in the Muslim world, I was always uncovered. Not naked, but like what you see right now, like the Lost Kardashian. And I never, ever censored myself. We're doing jokes. We're making people laugh. I'm not going on stage and blaspheming Jesus, Muhammad, or Moses. But I will tell a Jesus, Muhammad, Moses joke.
Comedians and artists aren't supposed to be able to mock Islam. That violates Sharia law, right? Still, here are some people who should know that the best, the children of Muslim immigrants, and they're doing it. The audience, which was also mostly Muslim, loved it.
I found out that the holy month of Ramadan was happening, for example, because it was trending on Twitter. I did wait until sunset to go down on my boyfriend. You guys, I felt really bad that he was fasting and I wasn't, you know? But not bad enough to swallow.
Look, I didn't have a lot of things that my Western friends had. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, you know, like the Easter Bunny and bacon bits. I never got to see my mother's face. Things like that.
People have an ability to contextualize things and you know, not always. I'm not saying that you don't have the fanatics out there who see a cartoon and go crazy. As human beings, when we are en masse, we're all assholes. But individually, people are actually, like, the most people in this audience tonight are probably enjoying a lot of the raunchy stuff.
You ever walk in on your parents still having sex? I walked in and my mother would scream, "Ah! I went downstairs. That's where I caught my father having sex.
I'm a very liberal, open-minded person, but when I get angry, Taliban angry. I lose my mind. I'm like, kill them all! Women and children first. I don't care.
Do you ever have to feel like you have to hold back?
I do if it's like a religious show. Back in Canada, I had to do a religious comedy show where the imams were sitting in the second row and they wouldn't even look at me.
When it comes to porn, I'm like, why is this woman not on a leash? You know what I'm saying? Is she smiling? This is not pornography. It's not. I'm trying to see her reaction. It is a haram show, so screw all of you.
I get so annoyed with the Charlie Hebdo stuff. Some Muslims reacted in such an extreme way. Whereas like when the Taliban killed God knows how many kids and shot Malala in the face, like, are you protesting in the street? Like, that's when you're supposed to protest in the street and not like freak out about a freaking cartoon.
The comedians shrug off embarrassment, much less any threat from the extremists. But I also know plenty of perfectly average Muslims who wouldn't take too kindly to some of these jokes.
Like, it's hard to be Muslim in America. It's difficult. Because, like, we're Muslim and, like, we want to believe, but we also want to do what everyone's doing. And the hardest day is Friday. Because there's Friday prayers, and then there's Friday night. Sometimes you see the same people in both places.
So I actually figured out that apologizing before you tell a joke really helps the joke. Muslims actually want to laugh at everything. They just don't want you to tell them that you think this is right.
I feel something in my heart when I pray. I really do. Like, it's there, the connection's there. I also really feel something in my heart when I get a Tinder match at 2 in the morning. And I don't know how to deal with that. It's like, do I drive over? Do I pray Fajr? I do both.
I never feel like I have to worry about a fundamentalist reaction because I live in America. That's why I think being Muslim in America is the best place to do it. Yeah, okay, there's all this stuff, there's bans, there's this and that or whatever, and all this politics, but I think we get to be ourselves in a way that we can't anywhere else, and I think that that's why our parents came here, because they want to be American, because they feel like that's the thing that would allow them to be Muslim.
The routines tonight didn't erase the threat here or anywhere else, but they did remind me that speech critical of Islam happens every day all around America. Funny Fest is pushing a lot of the same buttons as anti-Muslim activists, but here it's not about some defiance of Sharia, it's about letting American Muslims laugh at themselves. Everyone here recognizes that some Muslims lash out violently for speech like this, but nobody here felt threatened. And when I asked what would happen if their conservative relatives heard these jokes, I got similar answers. Their families came to America so that they could do exactly this.